Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to all our officers, respected HMs, teachers, and our lovely students. I am Ms. Shweta Panchal, and today I'm going to take the subject English. We will start with a PPT presentation. Let's start our lecture today. So the topic for today is 2.3 Abdul becomes a courtier. So before starting, let me give you some instructions. You have to keep your mics mute during the presentation. Do not chat while the presentation is going on. Use headphones for better sound. Keep notebook and pen handy to write down your queries. Ask questions at the end of presentation. Ask questions related to topic only. Please raise your hand if you want to ask or answer. Okay, I hope the instructions are clear to you all. Let's begin with our lecture. Before starting this lesson, I would like to give you a short introduction of the author of this lesson. So the writer of this lesson is Mrs. Pratibha Nath. Let us know some important facts about her. Pratibha Nath is the daughter of the late Dr. K.C. Mehta, a renowned botanist. She was born and brought up in Agra. She did her MA in English from Agra University and got a gold medal at both BA and MA levels. She has several years of experience in teaching English and history to middle and senior classes in school. She has written several books for use in schools on comprehensions and creative writings. Children, by looking at her degrees, we come to know that she has a good command on her English, as she has completed her master's in English subject. She is also very good in writing on creative stuffs, comprehensions, which are very much important for school children. She is a creative writer herself, and 5 of her storybooks are on the shelf of US Library of Congress, Washington. So she's a very creative writer and a very famous writer. You can see her picture on the right hand side. 5 of her famous books are kept in US Library in Washington. By this, we come to know that she is very global, very international writer, as her books are read even in the foreign countries. Her forte is short stories. She is very good at writing short stories. She has conducted storytelling sessions. So she conducts storytelling sessions also. As a freelance journalist, she has contributed articles and short stories to many leading newspapers and magazines. So she has also worked as a freelance journalist in various leading newspapers and magazines. Her major interests are music, reading, and gardening. So, by her major interest, also we come to know that she is very creative and very enthusiastic person, and she loves to read a lot. Okay. Let's begin with our lecture. So the lesson's name is Abdul Becomes a Courtier. This is a short story about a boy named Abdul. And we are going to learn this. This story is in a form of dialogues. It is a short play, and these plays are written in olden times. Okay, so you can see different formations over here, different kinds of words, different sentences. In this dialogues, you can see that there is use of rhyming words, and there is also use of chorus in this. In the olden days when plays were performed, we there was no music system or no electronic gadgets or any machines at that time. So everything was performed live, live music, live singing, live performances. Okay, so at that time there were no machines and there were no use of any special effects. All the effects were given manually, practically by doing it. Okay, let's start. There is a conversation in the first part between a father and Abdul. Father, who is a schoolmaster, is getting ready to go to school. So this is the first scene, and in this scene, Abdul's father is getting ready to go to school. He's a schoolmaster. He's a teacher. Let's see what Abdul wants to say to his father. Father, to knowledge and erudition I aspire, to study hard and deep, books I require. Will you lend me a little gold? Books I'll buy and study to rise in the world. So what Abdul wants to say to his father, he says that to acquire knowledge, to become intelligent, I aspire. Aspire means desire. He wants to learn more and more. He wants to become a scholar. So he said that he will study hard and deep. He will study a lot, and for that he requires a book. At that time, books were not easily available to everyone because in those times there were no printing press. So all the books which were there were handwritten. And since they were handwritten books, they were very expensive. So he asked for some gold. At that time, gold coins used to be used for transactions, for buying things. So he asked for little gold from his father, and what he was supposed to do with that, he was going to buy some books to study, to learn, and to rise in the world. Means he wanted to grow, he wanted to become rich, he wanted to make people understand that uh, he's a scholar. Okay, so he decided to buy some books out of it. Let's see what his father said. Only the first half of the month has passed, but alas, the money doesn't last. So what his father is saying that only the first half, means only the half month has passed and the money has almost gone over. He's not having much of the money. He's not having money for giving to Abdul. Great books and manuscripts are so expensive. Manuscripts are the books or documents which are written by hand. Okay. So at that time, I told you in the olden days, the books were very expensive because most of them were written with hand. They are treasures, rare and exclusive. What Abdul's father is saying that these manuscripts and great books are very rare, very difficult to find, and exclusive means limited to few people. Only few people could use it. But from my school, I will try to borrow. So what he said, he was a school teacher. So he said that let me borrow some books from my school. He said I'll bring some books from school and then you can read those books. Books that will take you to a brighter tomorrow. So he was very happy that Abdul wanted to read books, and he was sure that if he will read good books, he will have a bright tomorrow. Bright tomorrow means good future. So he decided that he will go to the school and borrow some books. Borrow means to take some books, and after reading, he would be returning it to the school again. Abdul, that will be great. How eagerly I wait. So Abdul was very happy. He said that will be great. He was so happy. He was eagerly waiting for the books to come to him so that he can read the books and he can acquire knowledge. Let's see what happened next. In the evening, when father returns. Now the father returned after the school in the evening. Abdul, how many books could you get? Oh, now my life will be all set. So Abdul said that Abdul asked his father, how many books did he get? He was so excited that he couldn't wait. He wanted to know how many books he could read now. He was so excited that he said that if I get the books, my life will be set. All set. All set means be settled, will be on track. But father very sadly said, I am so sorry, son. Couldn't lay my hand on even one. So father said that he was very sorry that he couldn't even get one book for Abdul. Chorus. Chorus is the background music which was given and in the olden times in the plays. Okay. Chorus is, chorus also means people sing together. When a group of people say a certain thing together, that is also said to be as chorus. So in the olden days during the play, such kind of choruses were used. Let's see what they said. Poor Abdul is sad and dejected. So Abdul was very sad, and dejected means depressed. He was very sad and depressed because he wanted the books to read, but he couldn't get them. Ponders. Ponders means thinks. He started thinking what he can do to get those books. Why my wishes are thus rejected? Was that all his wishes that he wanted to be fulfilled were rejected, were not accepted, or were not possible to happen. Continues to do his daily chores. Daily chores means daily tasks. So he continued to do his daily task, and while doing those tasks, he was thinking about what he can do, why this is happening to him, why his wishes are not getting fulfilled. Reads borrowed books in tens and scores. So whatever borrowed books were there with him, he used to read those books again and again. An idea then crosses his mind. While reading those books, an idea came into his mind to serve the rich and get paid in kind. So when he was reading the books, an idea got into his mind. He thought that if I'll serve rich people, if I will work for them, I can get the payment in kind. In kind means not in money, in service or goods. So the it was an idea that arose in his mind, and he decided that he will work for somebody and he will get books in return. Let's see the next scene. The next scene is between Abdul and a rich merchant. Abdul approaches a rich merchant. Abdul, I am a poor student. Give me a chance to serve. Observe my work. Pay only what I deserve. So Abdul, met the when he met the rich merchant, he said, I'm a poor student. Just give me a chance. He just wanted a chance to work. He also said that you observe my work. If I deserve, then only you have to pay. He said that if I'm hardworking and if you like my work, then only you pay me. Otherwise, you don't pay me. Let's see what the merchant said. You appear to be smart. Be my clerk. I'll pay you well if honestly you work. The merchant said, you appear smart. You can work as my clerk. A clerk is a person who keeps records in a of various accounts in a document. Okay, he decided to make Abdul his clerk, and he said he will pay him well if he honestly works for him. If he does not cheat or if he does not do anything bad, he will get good payment from the merchant. Some days pass, the merchant calls Abdul. After some day, merchant called Abdul. Let's see what merchant said. Merchant, I am pleased with your work and loving care. You are indeed a gem, quite rare. I'll give you a reward if you demand if your demand is fair. The merchant said that your work and your loving care was commendable, was very good. You are like a gem. He said that he is very rare. Abdul was very rare and very scholarly. So he wanted to give him some reward. Demands fairly means if it is affordable for him to give to fulfill his demand, he will give him as a reward. Abdul was very excited because when the merchant said that he will give some reward to him, he was very sure what he is going to ask. He was going to ask for books because he wanted the books for reading and acquiring knowledge. Let's see what Abdul said. May I know, may I now read the books in your stores, quench my thirst for knowledge. I need nothing more. So Abdul said that, can I now read the books in your stores and quench my thirst? Quench means satisfy his thirst of knowledge. I need nothing more. So Abdul said that he was not in a need of anything else. He was just interested in the books, and he said that he will read the books in his store to acquire knowledge. That was the only demand that Abdul made to the merchant. Let's see what the chorus has to say now. Days passed by. He learned and learned, gaining the knowledge for which he earned, philosophy, astronomy, Arabic, Persian. So after the days passed, he learned and acquired a lot of knowledge. He learned various subjects like philosophy, astronomy. He also learned various languages like Arabic and Persian. Abdul, the scholar, now is one in a million. So Abdul had almost become a scholar and was one in a million. He had a lot of knowledge and he was very rare. This was very rare at that time because people were not getting books to read. But Abdul never gave up and he worked hard. He decided to do various things to reach to the goals which he had in his mind. He wanted to learn, and thus he did all the things which were necessary for getting those books. Will he come to the emperor's notice? Will he be given an honorable office? So, what the chorus is saying that will the emperor notice Abdul because Abdul was a scholar, and at that time, such kind of scholars were given opportunity to serve the royal families, the kings, the emperors. Let's see what happened next. A friend of Abdul came to meet him, and he gave a news to him. News for you, Abdul. The emperor has answered your prayer. The royal Murgi Khana is now under your care. Now this was a news for Abdul, and one of his friends came to him and told that Emperor has answered your prayer. The Emperor has recognized you and he has appointed you as a caretaker of Royal Murgi Khana. Royal Murgi Khana is the royal poultry where the hens and the chickens were kept and taken care of. Abdul, what? The Murgi Khana for me, a scholar? So Abdul was very shocked that he was being given this work to take care of the Murgi Khana, whereas he was a scholar, intelligent, sagacious, astute, made a poultry keeper. He said he was very intelligent, very sharp. So why he was given such a kind of work? Never mind, the chance I won't refuse. It is an opportunity. I'll put it to good use. So he said, never mind, I have at least got the chance to serve the emperor. I will not refuse this. I will not reject this opportunity. I will put it to good use. I will use this opportunity so that I can make most of it. Chorus. Abdul worked with conviction, zeal, and passion. So Abdul worked hard. He was enthusiastic. Zeal means enthusiastic. So he decided that he will work hard, he will work with passion so that whatever work he is given, he will perform it to the best. So he worked with conviction, that means firm belief, and zeal means enthusiasm, and passion means strong desire. He worked very hard in the Murgi Khana, in the Royal Murgi Khana, and he was very sure that when whatever opportunity he's been given by the emperor, he will definitely do best. The hens were given a new kind of ration. The hens were given a new kind of food. Earlier, they were only given what were meant for them. There was now change because we all know that Abdul is very intelligent. So he made some changes in their food. The birds seemed to be in the pink of health. In the pink of health means at the peak of health, means very healthy. So the birds means the hen in the Murgi Khanas were very healthy and very strong, grown, well grown. But nothing was spent from the emperor's wealth. For feeding those birds, no money was used from emperor's wealth. This was very surprising. How is that? Why? The emperor said, how is that? Why are we spending so little on our hens? Have most of them died in the pens? The emperor was very surprised. How is it possible that no money is spent on the hens for feeding them? He was worried that most of the hens must have died. One of his ministers said, no, your majesty, they are alive and well. The secret of their health only Abdul can tell. So one of the ministers said that the hens are alive and well. They are good at health. But the secret behind this, only Abdul knows. Nobody else was aware what Abdul did there in the Murgi Khana, how he fed the hens over there. Let's see what happened next. Now Abdul was called and emperor wanted to ask him what he did to make the hens healthy without spending even a penny from the emperor's wealth. Abdul enters and bows before the emperor. As a symbol of respect, Abdul came to the court and he bowed in front of the emperor. Emperor, how come you spend so little on our hens? How do you nourish them at no expense? So The emperor asked them, how did you manage to make the hens so healthy without even spending a single penny from the emperor's well? How did you do it? Let's see what Abdul has to say. Abdul, Jahapana. Jahapana is a word which is used for emperor. Your humble servant feeds them well. He said that your servant, that is Abdul, is feeding the hens very well. Food from the royal kitchen, if I may tell, but only scraps and shells and kitchen waste. That's enough for the hens. So what he said that whatever food is remaining, whatever leftover food is there from the royal kitchen, whatever waste is there from the royal kitchen, all this is given to the hens. They relish the taste. That is, relish means they enjoy the taste. The hens were enjoying the taste of the food, whatever they are getting from the royal kitchen. It's good for their health. So this kind of food is very good for the hens. See how they thrive. Thrive means grow well. So he said that whatever food they are eating, they are becoming healthy, they are growing very well. Waste not, want not, that's my thrive. So what he was keeping in his mind that there should not be any waste or there should not be any use of any things unnecessary. So that was his motto, that was his drive. So he made efforts to make sure that with little use of things he can make major changes and achieve his goals. Emperor, interesting young man, you seem to have brains. So what emperor said that you seem to have brains. Brains over here means having knowledge. So he said he appreciated the efforts of Abdul and he said that uh, whatever he's been doing is very good and he'll be given benefits of this. He'll be promoted. We put you in charge of the library for all your pain. So now he was given another work and he was put as an in charge. He was given the control of the library. Chorus. Oh no, not again. Only a keeper of books? And he wished to be a courtier. How sad he looks. So the chorus is saying that again he was given some work which was not of his choice. He was made a bookkeeper, means he was given the charge of the library. He was actually wishing to become the courtier. A courtier is a person who is very close to the emperor. He is very important and he belongs to the court of the emperor. A courtroom is a place where emperor sits and discuss the things with the courtiers and take important decisions. So the courtiers are very important in a point of in that point of view. The courtiers work um, as a guide to the emperor. So he wanted to become a courtier. Abdul aspired to become a courtier, but he was given the charge of the library. So he might be very sad after hearing this. Let's see what Abdul said. Never mind, I love books. I'll get down to work. I'll handle this well. My duties I won't strike. So he said that never mind, I love books. He searched an opportunity to learn more when he was appointed as in charge of the library. He said, I will handle this very well and I'll do my duties. I will not strike. I will not avoid this opportunity. I will use this opportunity to grow. After 1 year, the emperor is looking at the books in the library. So after 1 year, the emperor visited the library, and he was very surprised. What? All these books have such expensive jackets. Surely they have cost a lot of fortune. Silver, silks, brocades, and velvets. So when the emperor visited the library, he saw that all the books were having expensive jackets. Expensive jackets over here means covers, expensive covers. So he was thinking that a lot of money would have been spent for this, as this was made, all these jackets were made of silk brocade. Brocade is a rich fabric made of golden and silver thread. And also the covers were made with velvet. So all this expensive material was used to make the jackets of the books in the library. So the emperor thought a lot of money has been wasted in this. Now let's see what Abdul has to say on this. The emperor asked him why he had used such expensive jackets for the books. Abdul said, "No, your majesty, the expenses were none." He said that he had not spent any money from the royal wealth. He said that no expenses were made to make these expensive jackets. Now you're listening to this, the emperor was very surprised and shocked. How is it possible? Without spending a single penny, how is it possible to make such expensive jackets? Emperor, I can't believe it. Then how was it done? Emperor said that was in a real shock. He cannot believe that this has happened. And how was it done? He wanted to know how he managed to do it. Abdul, Your Majesty, I observed that the formal request was sent to you in bags made of the fabrics best. They said that the formal request, which was letters, various documents, was sent to the emperor. And for sending those requests and formal letters, bags were used, and these bags were made of best fabrics. Okay, so these fabrics were very good. So he decided that when the papers were read, the bags were discarded. He knew that when the papers inside these bags were read, the bags were thrown away. Discarded means thrown away. So he decided that the bags are so good, made of good fabric, let's not waste it. Why waste the silk, velvet, brocade? I demanded. So he said that all this fabric, all these bags were made of good fabric, that is silk, velvet, and brocade. So why should one waste such things? So what he did, he asked the royal tailor to make the jacket. The royal tailors made the jackets. Nothing did they take. So the royal tailors used to work for the royal family. So they were appointed to stitch different things. So all these materials, all these fabrics were provided to the tailor and they made jackets out of it. Each book was dressed for your majesty's sake. So each of the books which were there in the library were dressed. Dress means put jacket or put cover. So it was all done for the majesty. It was all done for the emperor. Okay. Let's see what the emperor has to say after listening to this. Emperor, you have great merit. I would realized much. I had realized much earlier. He said that you have great merits. You are very intelligent. You are very sharp. That he had realized this much earlier, and now he was very happy. Why he was happy? He was happy to announce that Abdul is now his courtier. I am happy to announce now you are my courtier. Now, ultimately, at the end, Abdul was able to achieve what he had desired. He wanted to become the courtier, and all his hard work had paid him well. So now Abdul was the emperor's courtier. Chorus. Wits, brain, perseverance helped Abdul achieve his aim. Wits means intelligence. Brains means knowledge. Perseverance means ability to do hard work without giving up, even if there are lots of hurdles or obstacles. So, with the help of all these, he was able to achieve his aim. Patient determination won him great name and fame. So he was patient. He showed patience. He never gave up. He was never agitated. He was never frustrated or depressed. Whenever he got an opportunity, he worked hard and made most of it. And because of his determination, that is firmness, and his belief in hard work, he was able to achieve great name and fame. He was able to achieve what he wanted. He became very famous because of his hard work. So the story has been written by Pratibha Nath, and the story has been taken from the Enter Mullah Do Piazza. Okay, I hope this lesson you have understood and you have enjoyed the story. So children like Abdul, you also have to become hardworking. You have to work hard, learn more, gain more and more knowledge so that you can achieve what you want to. Okay. Uh, if Do you want to ask any questions? Have you understood everything? Understood, and if it is clear to you, we can proceed to the next session, that is question answer session. Yes, very good, Shubham. Very good. It's good that you have understood the story. Let's start with the question answer session. Okay. There will be some questions on your screen. I will read it out to you, and there are three options. Okay. You have to select the correct options out of it. Let's see the first question. What are considered as rare and exclusive treasures? Let's see the first option. Opportunity. Second option. Office work. Third option. Great books and manuscript. Now you have to select the correct answer from these three. Please on your mic. Or you can even give.
मिस एक बार हम फिर से क्वेश्चन ऑप्शन रिपीट करो ना.
Yes, I will repeat the question for you. What are considered as rare and exclusive treasure? There are three options. First one is opportunity, second one is office work, third one is great books and manuscript.
Great books and manuscript. Third वाला great books and manuscript.
Yes. Very good, children. Let's see the answer. Yes, the answer is great books and manuscripts.
Manuscript.
Very good, children. Let's see the next question. Who is the writer of this story? Again, we have three options for this. Let's see the first one. Abdul, Pratibha Nath, Lakshman Londe. Select the correct answer, children. Who's the writer of this story? Abdul,
Pratibha Nath.
or Lakshman Londe?
Pratibha Nath, miss. Pratibha Nath. Pratibha Nath.
Very good.
It's
Excellent,
Lakshman.
children. Yes. Let's see the
Pratibha
answer.
Nath. Pratibha Nath. Pratibha Nath.
Very good. Yes.
Pratibha Nath.
The answer is Pratibha Nath. Let's see the next question. Which word is used for emperor? We have three options again for this. The first one is Jahapana, second one is clerk, and the third one is courtier.
Jahapana. Jahapana.
Very good. Very good. Very good, children.
ini बोलते कोई क्लास
Let's
बताते इसको
see the
बोलते
answer.
देखो
Let's see the answer, children.
मिस जहापना टीचर
Very good.
जहापना
Yes, correct.
Jahapana.
The answer is Jahapana. Very good. Let's see the next question. So now you have to tell me the rhyming words from the lesson, page number 30. Okay. So please open your page number 30 so that you can find the answers and you can give. The first word is borrow. You have to find a rhyming word for borrow. A word that rhymes with borrow. Open page number 30. Yes, very good. Very good, Shalini. Very good, Aryan. Very good.
Gold, world,
Borrow. What is the rhyming word for borrow in the textbook in this lesson?
tomorrow.
Yes, very
Tomorrow,
good.
tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Yes, very good. Let's see the answer.
Tomorrow.
Very
Tomorrow.
good. So the word which rhymes with borrow is tomorrow. Let's see the next question. Great. Which is the rhyming word for great?
Wait. Wait.
Yes. Let's see the answer.
Wait. Wait.
Correct. Very good. So the answer is wait. Great. Wait. The third question is get. Yes. Very good. Yes. The answer is set.
Set.
Yes.
Set.
Let's see the next question.
Set.
The next question is dejected. Which is a rhyming word for dejected?
Rejected. Rejected.
Yes, very good, very good, very good. So the rhyming word for dejected is rejected. Very
Rejected.
good, children. Good
Rejected.
attempt. Now for homework, you have to. Yes, very good. Let's see the homework now. What you have to do is first page we have completed and we have found all the rhyming words from page number 30. The rest of the lesson you have to find the rhyming words and you have to make a list of it. Okay, that is your homework. So thank you for joining everyone. And I hope you have enjoyed this lesson. And I hope that you read the lessons regularly and you become like Abdul. You acquire lots of knowledge. Thank you for attending this lecture. Bye bye for now.